So here's what most people don't realize. Depending on your preferences, certain cities in Vietnam like Nha Trang can absolutely compete with Thailand, Bali, even some parts of Europe. And they do it at a price that honestly feels unreal. Right now, I'm in Nha Trang. It's a coastal city in Vietnam, and for some reason, almost nobody from the US comes here. Same with Brits. The tourists I see are mostly Russians, Koreans, a few Chinese groups, but Americans, hardly ever, which is crazy. Because this place has everything: beaches, clean streets, good food, culture, and prices that will make you question why you're paying what you pay back home. Let's start with the hotel. $10 a night. That's it. With tax and fees, $10 total. If you stayed for a whole month, $300. To put that into perspective, back when I was living in San Diego, I was paying $2,700 a month for rent, and that was just rent. No utilities, no Wi-Fi, just the privilege of having a roof over my head in a city where half the sidewalks are full of tents and trash. I remember taking the trash out one night in San Diego and running into 3 different homeless camps between my apartment and the dumpster. That was the reality. Paying $2,700 to live in stress, surrounded by crime, watching California crumble in front of me. Now fast forward to today. I'm in Nha Trang, walking into my $10 hotel called the Maple. My expectations were low. I thought maybe I'd get a small dim room, questionable sheets, maybe a flickering light bulb. But no, this place blew me away. Fresh flowers at the entrance, a little cafe in the lobby, clean hallways, no sketchy vibe, no weird smell. I get to my room and it's simple but comfortable. I've got a fridge, a TV, a mirror, daily cleaning, even windows with some light coming in. The bathroom is spotless. Shower pressure strong enough, but not so strong it feels like it's trying to peel your skin off. For $10, it feels like a 4-star hotel. And here's the kicker. I'm 4 minutes away from the beach. 4 minutes. Back in the US, I'd have to be pulling in 6 figures just to afford something 4 minutes from the beach. And even then, it would probably be a tiny apartment with paper-thin walls. Growing up in Michigan, everyone I knew dreamed of California. That was the big dream. Move west, live in the sunshine. I followed that dream. I moved. And what I found was a cycle. Work, pay rent, repeat. Life became about survival, not living. California was supposed to be the dream, but it turned into a trap. Now here in Vietnam, I'm realizing the dream was misplaced. What people really want isn't California. It's safety, sunshine, affordability, and community. And those things exist here for a fraction of the price. Let me give you an example. This morning, I walked out and grabbed a Vietnamese coffee. If you've never had one, it's not like your average drip coffee. It's strong, sweet, almost like coffee ice cream in a cup. Each person making it has their own twist, so no 2 places taste the same. And the cost? $2. That's it. In San Diego, I'd pay $7 for a latte that doesn't even taste half as good. Then I wandered into a little grocery shop. Shelves stacked with snacks, nuts, cookies, fruit. Practically everything is priced around $1. A bag of cashews, $1. Pack of cookies, $1. And it's not the cheap, low-quality stuff either. It's good, local, fresh. You know how back in the States you walk into a Whole Foods and you're terrified to look at the receipt? Here, it's the opposite. You actually feel good walking out with a bag full of groceries because you know you didn't just burn through half your paycheck. Food is where this place really shines. I stopped at a street stall where they make these little rice cakes over charcoal. Crispy outside, soft inside, filled with squid, dipped in sauce. $2 for a plate. You sit on these tiny plastic chairs surrounded by locals, sharing food, laughing, living life. That's the culture here. Later, I had a bowl of bun ca, basically a fish noodle soup that's famous in Nha Trang. Clear broth, herbs, noodles, chunks of fresh fish. One of the best soups I've ever had in my life, and it was less than $2. I think back to a night in Los Angeles when I ordered ramen and paid $21. $21 for soup, and it wasn't even that good. Now let's talk safety. In the US, if I left my laptop sitting at a cafe table while I went to the bathroom, I'd be taking a huge gamble. Here, people leave their phones, wallets, laptops out all the time. Nobody touches them. You can walk down the street at midnight, 1 in the morning, no problem. Families are out, kids are skating, couples are walking by the beach. It's safe. And crime? Back home, I remember hearing gunshots at night in Detroit. I remember reading about break-ins in what were supposed to be good neighborhoods. Here, the crime people warn you about is someone maybe trying to overcharge you $2 for a taxi ride. That's it. Of course, there are little quirks. Coconuts, for example. Sounds funny, but if you sit under the wrong tree and one falls, it could kill you. That's probably the most dangerous thing you'll face here. Transportation is easy too. Renting a motorbike costs about $6 a day. Gas is a couple of bucks. You've got total freedom to explore. And if you're staying longer, you can rent one for a month at a discount. Compare that to a car payment, insurance, gas, and parking in the States, where just parking can cost more than a day's rent here. And then there's the lifestyle. This is what really separates Vietnam from back home. People here aren't obsessed with showing off. They're not chasing the latest designer clothes. They're not trying to flex cars on Instagram. The culture values family, friends, and enjoying life. Dinner isn't a rushed meal in front of Netflix. It's a time to sit with people, laugh, share food. Now don't get me wrong, Vietnam isn't perfect. Ho Chi Minh City, crowded, noisy, a bit dirty. Hanoi has its rough edges too. But Nha Trang, it feels balanced, clean, calm, modern, and yet still deeply connected to its traditions. You get the ocean, the city, the food, and the culture all in one place. And the affordability is what ties it all together. Let me give you some comparisons. Rent in San Francisco, $3,500 for a one-bedroom apartment. Rent in New York City, $3,000 minimum. Even in smaller cities, Denver, Austin, you're looking at $1,800 to $2,200. And that's not luxury living, that's just average. In Nha Trang, $300 gets you a hotel room with daily cleaning. If you wanted an actual apartment, something long-term, you could find modern furnished places for $400 or $500 a month with a balcony, with a view of the ocean. Utilities included, internet that's faster than what I had in San Diego. Food in Chicago, you go out to eat, $20 a person minimum. Drinks, tax, tip, you're easily at $35. Here, dinner costs $2. $3 if you splurge. That's not an exaggeration. Even healthcare is affordable. I met an expat here who had to go to the dentist at the dentist. Cleaning, x-rays, fillings, the whole thing cost him less than $100. In the US, that would have been $600 easy. And it's not just about money. It's about peace of mind. Back home, everything feels like a hustle. Work harder, make more, spend more. Here you don't need much to live well. You can actually slow down, breathe, and enjoy life. Here's what my daily routine looks like in Nha Trang. I wake up, walk 4 minutes to the beach, watch the sunrise over the water. I grab a coffee for $2. Maybe hit one of the free outdoor gyms by the ocean where do some pull-ups while waves crash in the background. Breakfast, a bowl of noodles for $1 and change. I spend the afternoon working on my laptop at a cafe. Internet's fast, the coffee keeps coming, nobody bothers me. Total cost, maybe $5 for the whole day. Evening rolls around and the city comes alive. Families gather by the waterfront, kids are learning how to rollerblade, couples are walking hand in hand. Street food stalls light up, grills sizzling, growlette, smells filling the air. I grab dinner, seafood, fresh vegetables, rice for less than $3. Then I walk back to my hotel. 4 minutes. No stress, no traffic, no worrying about rent or crime, or whether I can afford the next bill. And that's the thing. This isn't just a cheap vacation spot. This is a livable, sustainable place where you could actually retire. Think about it. People in Michigan dream of retiring in Florida. Sunshine, beaches, a slower pace of life. But the reality, prices are high, crime is high, and you're still in the same system. In Nha Trang, you get all of that. Beaches, sunshine, community. But safer, cleaner, cheaper. And instead of stretching your savings, you can actually make them last. Back in Michigan, I had neighbors talking about saving every penny just to retire to Tampa. They'd spend their whole lives working, only to live in a place where they still had to worry about bills, healthcare, safety. Here, you could retire comfortably on half the savings. Maybe less. Sometimes I think about my younger self chasing California. I thought that was the only way to live the dream. If I could go back, I'd tell myself, look further. There's a whole world out there where life isn't about surviving. It's about living. Because for $10 a night, $300 a month, Nha Trang doesn't just give you a hotel room. It gives you freedom. Freedom to slow down. Freedom to breathe. Freedom to actually enjoy your life instead of constantly stressing about it. And the crazy part, Almost nobody back home even knows about this place.